Calling in my Soul Tribe family. My name is KARRA, and I'm an artist, songwriter, and producer.
And my name is Reid Stefan, realest puppet in the game.
And today we're writing a song from scratch using FL Studio. The type of song that we're writing today is called a top line, which means that we're focusing on the melodies and the lyrics, and we're going to leave the instrumental up to the imagination. This is a common way for vocalists to actually pitch songs to DJs in the electronic dance space. Trends move quickly, and so this is a great trick to keeping your songwriting timeless. So let's check out the chord progression that we have pulled up in my FL Studio template, which is available at imkarra.com.
Let's create this chord progression together. Here in the channel rack in our session, we don't have any instruments loaded up, so I'm going to go in and pull up something like Serum where we can create a sound from scratch. And I'm going to create the most basic sound there is, a sine wave. And we're going to use this to play our chords because a sine wave would really work in any genre of music. I'm just going to add a little reverb here in the effects tab. And let's click in our chords using the piano roll. I'm just going to lengthen my pattern here so I have more space. Right click piano roll. And we're going to go with this tempo. A great trick if you're not fantastic at playing chords is clicking in chords starting with 2 notes at a time. You can really get a full progression with just a bass and an upper note in your chord. So I'm just going to click in my notes like this. To make this a full chord progression, I'm just going to double the length once again. And I also like to add another basic instrument like a piano. So I'm going to pull up Nexus. They got a whole pianos category. And my finished chord sounds like this. And if we open up the MIDI, you could see inside. Command up to put this high note up an octave on the piano. Keep it low on the sine wave. And that's the basis for our song. So I've gone and arranged these clips across the timeline and also added a snap as a basic backbeat to make the verse feel a little bit different from the intro. And as you can see here in the mixer, we have all of the channels from within the vocal template ready to record onto.
Now that we have a progression and a vibe going on, this is the time to get on the mic and start singing some melodies. My melodies come very intuitively, and so I don't like to hinder myself with too much thought. I just like to get it out and edit the melodies down later.
Here in the template, I'm going to click on channel 2, which is where we have the lead vocal chain set up. And I just selected the input that her mic is connected to. And I also have her mic going through console through our Apollo. So I'm just going to click here and turn monitoring off so that we don't hear her vocal echoing twice or delayed or anything like that. And I'm just going to make sure our record button is recording just audio.
Shock to my system, yeah. You sit with those eyes. You got no malicious right. You come on the way somebody. You can't feel my life, 'cause I don't want to be happy. And all you do is nothing. And I say we love me. And I say we love me. Hey, you're true savage. And now you kiss somebody up and down my life.
One plugin we don't have pulled up yet in this template is a vocal tuning plugin, which is a really helpful tool for songwriting because it'll help you hear the idea instead of the performance, which is really more of what you're worried about when you're songwriting. So let's make space in this vocal chain for something like auto-tune. I like to put that first in my vocal chain. So I'm going to use this wheel on my mouse to just notch it down 1 until we have 1 free space at the top. And then I'm going to go to more plugins. And I'm going to use UAD Antari's Auto-Tune Real Time.
I feel my life, 'cause I don't want to be happy. And all you do is nothing. And I say we love it. And I say we love it.
Well, after listening back to that, there's a lot of this that I do love, but there are moments that are slightly out of tune because there was a lot of uncertainty about where I wanted to go next because I'm just getting acclimated with the chord progression. So why don't we try this same idea one more time? I'm just going to make a few edits.
Shock to my system, yeah. You kill with those eyes. I know that you wish I'm mine. Je m'endors same in the somber delight, and I know that you'll be happier. Now choose somebody. I know you is so cold. I know you is so far. And I could fight it. And now you kiss it for that did up my life.
Yeah. Amazing. I love all of that. Now I think it's time to do the chorus.
Get a little lost and I got it. I don't wanna do you worse than a party. I don't wanna get your love, I don't wanna be your love. Your touch is electric, another love. You call out a fat chick, another die. It's a electricity. I'm a sad girl in a live world. I'm a white day and I did well in my mind, love and no beat low.
There was something there. Let me hear that back. I know I can get it better, but we're onto something.
I'm a sad girl in a live world. I'm a white day and I did well in my mind, love and no beat low.
Maybe some snaps in there.
Oh my love.
Nice. Now that I have some sort of idea laid out, let me try that again. I can imagine this being a really like bouncy, feel good chorus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that contrasts really well with the music because it's just long, straight notes and it'll have plenty of space to move around for your voice.
Yep. And also plenty of room for production to be added.
I'm a sad girl in a real world. I'm a nitty and I'm the day. I'm a night in a real world. I'm a sad girl in a real world. I'm a window on the window way.
Okay, can you take those two last lines from the old one and bring that down to the new one I just did?
Yeah, let me get out this tool. Pull this down here on top of that clip, and it should transition.
So what you guys are witnessing is us editing the melody. So I'm taking ideas from my old melody and bringing it into the new one.
Yep, and this process is known as comping. FL Studio's new update makes this very easy to keep your vocal takes straight and also make a new channel that goes to the correct channel every time you make a new recording. So very handy update.
I'm a sad girl in a real world. I'm a nitty and I'm the day. I'm a night in a real world. I'm a sad girl in a real world. I'm a window on the window way.
This is a great start to the songwriting process. All of these melodies are not solidified. This is just a guide for me when I'm ready to piece together the lyrics. Let's take one last listen to our melody idea from the top.
Shock to my system, yeah. You kill with those eyes. I know that you wish I'm mine.
Nice.
Je m'endors same in the somber delight, and I know that you'll be happier. Now choose somebody. I know you is so cold. I know you is so far. And I could fight it. And now you kiss it for that did up my life. I'm a sad girl in a real world. I'm a nitty and I'm the day. I'm a night in a real
Before I start writing my lyrics, I want to try and define or hone in on what this track is making me feel. I'm getting a combination of like a melancholy, sad feeling with like a happy, like a hopeless, happy feeling. So I'm kind of leaning towards the concept of meeting that person that just understands you, no matter how sad or weird or different you are from the rest of the world. You have that person, and that's all that matters. Let's listen to my gibberish and see if there's any cool lyrics in that first verse that we can pull from.
Shock to my system, yeah. You kill with those eyes.
Immediately, I hear the lyrics, shock to my system. To me, this means that you're maybe meeting or seeing this person for the first time, and it's like instant magnets. You're drawn to them. You don't understand why. Or maybe they're making you feel not so lonely for the first time.
Shock to my system, I'm feeling the high that I only need when I'm low.
You are the reason that I even try by giving me a hand to hold. In the second half of the verse, I'm introducing the other person for the first time, and it's explaining the motivation that person is giving me to try, to love, to live life, because I actually feel something for the first time.
You are the reason that I even try by giving me a hand to hold.
I love that take, but I can get that I even try a little bit cleaner. So punch me in there, Reid.
I even try.
In the demo vocal for my pre-chorus, I hear something with body, of course, but I also have the same rhyme scheme going on that I have in the verse. So I want to switch that up a bit. You don't necessarily want to have the same rhymes going the entire song. It's good to switch it up. So that's what we're going to do. I need somebody that knows where I've been and what's under my skin. Somebody that knows me for me, that understands me, even if we haven't actually known each other for a long time.
I need somebody that knows where I've been and what's under my skin.
That keeps my heartbeat from going up in flames when I set myself on fire. To me, this means that this person keeps me alive when I self-destruct or go down a spiraling path.
That keeps my heartbeat from going up in flames when I set myself on fire. I'm a sad girl in a real world, but the people that feel so fake, no emotions in the open till you made it all okay.
To me, these lyrics really embody the fact that it's a lonely, sad girl that didn't feel like she belonged anywhere until this person came into her life. I'm a sad girl in a real world, but the people, they feel so fake. No emotions in the open till you made it all okay. So she was afraid to show emotions and let anyone in until she met this person.
You're a sad boy that's been destroyed, 'cause you're different, but
You're a sad boy, always annoyed.
Read the way you're just
Always annoyed.
So for this last part, I'm thinking you're a sad boy that's been destroyed because you're different, yeah, but we're the same. To me, I think it's cool to describe the other person as well, so it's not a one-sided song. Two lonely people that found comfort within each other.
you're a sad boy that's been destroyed, 'cause you're different, yeah, but we're the same. Oh, 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 oh. Need somebody that knows where I've been and what's under my skin, that keeps my heartbeat. Need somebody that knows where I've been and what's under my skin, that keeps my heartbeat. I'm a sad girl in a real world, but the people, oh, they feel so fake. No emotions in the open till you made it all okay. I'm a sad girl in a real world, but the people, oh, they it feels so fake. No emotions in the open. I'm a sad girl in a real world, but the people, they feel so fake. No emotions in the open, till you made it all okay. You're a sad boy that's been destroyed. Cause you're different, yeah, but we're the same. Whoa. Okay. You're a sad boy that's been destroyed. Cause you're different, yeah, but we're the same. Whoa.
So we've just recorded all of our vocals, and now I'd like to go in on this production just a little bit more to enhance it, to better represent the arrangement of the song. So I'm going to start out by taking down all of these instrument channels and putting them on their own channels and labeling them. That way the sine wave and the piano and all the percussion instruments have their own lanes here on the timeline. Next, I'm going to open up Nexus and pluck in a little guitar like this. And also add a little bass line in. I could just use the stock FL Studio synth. Close the filter. Sawtooth wave. And let's just do a bass line that follows the chord progression.
I'm a sad girl in a real world, but the people, they feel so fake.
Now I'm going to go in and add a little bit of a enhancement to our snap, just something that matches the tone of the song, but the beat of the snap.
I'm a sad girl in a real world.
And this is just some woodblock samples through a little bit of reverb.
So fake, no emotions in the open, till you made it all okay.
And I also want to enhance this with a build-up and a snare drum that gets faster and faster as the chorus progresses. So I'm just going to click this in with MIDI here. Command B to copy this over. And now these snare drums could use a little bit of automation. So I'm just going to right click on this volume control and show an automation clip for this piece. And I'm just going to shorten it to the length that I need. And this first point represents where it starts. The middle point represents the curve. And this ending point represents where it ends. We're also going to do a little bit more automation on this. I want to do an EQ filter, so I'm just going to automate the frequency of this EQ too, just to make that snare drum a little bit softer.
You're a sad boy that's been destroyed. Cause you're different, yeah, but we're the same.
And then finally, I just want to add an effect to create a little sweep leading up to the end of our chorus. We're here in Whole Loops Raw Hits 2. We're just going to drag this one in and turn down the volume a little bit. And that's perfect for our songwriting production.
All right, guys, we made it. We wrote our entire song. We recorded some harmonies, some doubles, and adlibs. So let's take a listen to our final product.
Shock to my system, I'm feeling the high that I only need when I'm low. You are the reason that I even try, by giving me a hand to hold. I need somebody that knows where I've been and what's under my skin, that keeps my heartbeat from going up in flames when I set myself on fire. I'm a sad girl in a real world, but the people, they feel so fake. No emotions in the open till you made it all okay. You're a sad boy that's been destroyed. Cause you're different, yeah, but we're the same.
And it's as simple as that, writing a song in FL Studio.
One of the tools that helped us skip a lot of the steps and fiddling with plugins along the way was the template from IamKARRA.com, made entirely out of stock plugins in FL Studio.
Yes, thank you so much, Reid, and thank you guys for watching.
Peace out, everybody.